Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Perspective. Of course, the by-polls are in progress this time on 11 seats. We're looking at 8 NA and 3 Punjab Assembly seats. Overall, of course, as far as Karachi, Malir is concerned at this time, as far as the reports go, and Multan also, we are seeing PPP leading on those 2 seats. As far as the overall results is concerned, we're seeing the other seats at this time, be it PTI leading on the other seats. Of course, these seats were won by the PTI in the last elections. So it has to be seen in the light of the performance of all parties has to be seen in the light of the earlier held votes in these areas. We'll be talking about what the likely results are to be, what are the likely effects of these elections, and of course what it means overall as far as the PTI policy at this time is concerned, considering that they are refusing to be a part of the National Assembly, and what will these seats, however they win, actually mean. What kind of a tactic is it? Will it have any effect at all on the overall political scenario at this time? All of that today on Perspective. I have with me Rana Maqbool Ahmed, who's a senator with PMLN. Thank you for joining us. We also have with us Abdullah Mumtaz Kaloon, who is with the PTI. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to start with Rana Maqbool Ahmed. Rana Sahab, you know, these seats, of course, were earlier won by PTI, but how are you looking at this overall trend? How is the PMLN looking at this overall trend as far as these by-elections are concerned? You know, the seat in Multan is one of those seats that Imran Khan Saab himself is not contesting on. Could you tell us what is the overall, how do you see things at this time?
Thank you very much, MAHRUKH. I'm grateful to you. You have given me this opportunity. You have said tactics. To me, in my humble view, these are totally tactless tactics. It has not given any benefit to the PTI. Rather, they'll be having some losses. They'll be losing 2 to 3 seats of MNA, though they were their seats, and very badly, especially in Multan and in Malir as well. As far as the seats in Punjab, other seats like in Nankana and Multan are concerned, we have seen this proportion of votes. Shizra is almost only 1,500, 2,000 behind Imran Khan Saab. Is there any parity and competition between the two leaders? Shizra lost elections to Brigadier Ijaz last time by 2,000. Now again she is 2,000 votes behind Imran Khan. Is Imran Khan equal to Ijaz Shah in his popularity? So identically, once you see at the turnover, wherever Imran Khan, especially in Punjab, is contesting and in Sindh as well, the turnover is very poor. Wherever he is not contesting, the turnover is good, like in Multan. And you might have seen the number of votes which both the parties are bagging. Though,
as far as Multan is concerned, you know, that seat particularly is concerned, it's being contested by, if I'm right, Musa Gilani, and from the PTI there is Mehrbanu Qureshi. Overall, as far as this seat is concerned, how significant is this in your opinion, considering the fact that, you know, as Imran Khan Saab chose not to contest himself from this seat, in terms of, you know, there was some criticism earlier on, a disagreement within the party also when this ticket was awarded. How do you look at this?
That is fundamentally seat the number 2 of the party. It's the seat of the vice chairman, which he gave to his son and subsequently gave to his daughter. It's an important seat and very dear to them. Perhaps they couldn't read the minds of the people, and they have now tasted that tasted their misjudgment, and the people have given a vote against them. They have given a verdict against them. Identically, what I understand as a student of this total phenomena, look at the turnover. Had there been the level of Prime Minister, former Prime Minister Imran Khan, so to say, at the peak when there is turnout
Let me come back to you, Rana Sahab. I want to go to Abdullah also. Abdullah, the same question to you.
25,000.
As
There
far
should have
as
been stampede. I tell you, the, the I want to finish. I want to finish one sentence.
Ji Rana Sahab, please finish your sentence.
Yes, I wanted to finish it. That had there been really this peak of popularity, what they claim, the money, the security money or the surety money of all emptied. So I fear that maybe his surety money is forfeited in 1 or 2 or 3 constituencies. That is the situation due to such a poor turnover. So that hoax is not totally exposed before people. They haven't.
Ji Rana Sahab, I'll come back to you now. I think there's a delay in your audio also. I'll come back to you.
Got any benefit from this exercise?
Let me go to Abdullah. Ji Abdullah, as far as the same question to you, as far as we need to discuss. I mean, I think the right, the way to look at it, this seat particularly, as far as Multan is concerned. How do you look at this in terms of the trend that we are seeing? Of course, these are not confirmed results. I want to state at the outset, but overall, how do you look at it? Because it's one of those seats where the PTI chairman himself is not contesting. As a trend for the general elections, of course, he will not be contesting on all seats. One expects whenever the general election is held also. So how do you look at it?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mark, thank you for inviting me on your show. And after having looked at the exit polls this evening, I have to say that PTI is on track to win all 8 National Assembly seats and the 3 provincial assembly seats. As far as Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf is concerned, this is a referendum of the people's report on Khan Saab's narrative. Chairman Imran Khan stands vindicated, and this is also, I believe, a report card on the car crash performance of this coalition government, or lack of performance, I would say. This was basically Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf versus the whole of PDM and the Election Commission of Pakistan, and despite that, they're on track to win all of the seats. So coming to Multan and specifically, here we have Gilani Saab, former Prime Minister Yusuf Raza Gilani Saab's son, who is contesting against Mayor Banu Qureshi. Mayor Banu Qureshi has not been in politics before, but again in this seat, as you can see, Mayor Banu being a completely, from a not having been political before, is set to win this seat. I think the PDM have to go back and introspect at what they're doing. Basically, you have a logjam of. MAHRUKH, are you able to hear me?
Ji, I can
Hello?
hear you loud and clear. Ji, Abdullah, I can hear you.
We have a logjam. There's a bit of interference between us.
There might be a delay, but we can hear you. Abdullah, we can hear you loud and clear. Please.
Yes. Thank you, MAHRUKH. So basically, as far as if you were to look at an analysis, my view is that the PDM should do a deep. We have a logjam of 12 different parties or 11 different parties with different ideologies, different parts on the political spectrum. They've all come together for God knows what. Their voters are not happy with their performance. They should think about their politics, Abdullah, and perhaps part ways. Yes.
Let me interject here. As far as, when you say, you yourself have said that their voters are not happy, the cumulative parties that we've seen as far as the PDM, whether we call it that, as far as the PDM is concerned, as far as PPP is concerned, as far as PMLN is concerned? Is it, you yourself has said that their voters are not happy with them. Is it about the fact that their voters are not happy with them, and therefore, there is the other option seems to be PTI, rather than a performance-based, actual result in these by-polls? It is about the fact that they're not, it's about not liking the other parties. Is that what you're saying?
MAHRUKH, in this election, as we saw on the 17th of July, again, that was a swing in PTI's favor in the Punjab. Across the nation, basically, is two factors. Firstly, Imran Khan Saab has become the most popular leader in Pakistan. That's without a doubt. There's the mass appeal amongst the youth. The youth consists of more than 60% of Pakistan's population today. Secondly, the other part is that even in the parties that form the PDM, the political parties themselves have different ideologies. There are different parts of the political spectrum. And the voters, they don't seem to be gelling with the other voters. They've contested elections against each other for the past 40 years. And now all of a sudden their leaders are warming up to each other. But you can't expect that from the voters. So both of these factors have propelled Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf to where it is. And more so, I believe Khan Saab's narrative has now...
Isn't it also true? I have to go to Zile Huma, who's with the ECP. But before that, I'll let you answer this one after. But isn't it also true that in a lot of cases when, we talk about people contesting or the families they're contesting from, of course, there's no bar who have been in other political parties and now, have joined Imran Khan Saab. I'm not saying that I'm, against that or it shouldn't be done. All I'm saying is that, like you are saying that political parties have gotten together, people also have chosen to go a different route. I'll come back to you on that. I'm going to go to Zile Huma, who's Director PR ECP. Thank you for joining us. Zile Huma, can you hear me?
Inviting me.
Zile Huma, how are you looking at the ECP's role at this time? There have been, various allegations. Some videos have also come out on social media. Overall, how do you look at the way that the election has been conducted? The voter turnout also. What's your overall opinion on that?
Okay, first of all, I really want to appreciate the effort for the officials and the law enforcement agencies, wherever they were deputed, for conducting these elections in a very free, fair, and transparent manner. Since morning, we have been observing and continuously monitoring all the elections being held today, and we have established our central monitoring room as well, where we were receiving the complaints, whether it's through the media or whether it's through the complaints. But I would really appreciate the efforts of all the people who are involved in conducting elections. That we received only 15 complaints. They were of minor nature that were resolved immediately through the help of the law enforcement agencies and our officers as well. So I would say that all the allegations that were being made on the role of the Election Commission have been proved wrong through these elections. Like the way these elections have been conducted, and the results are coming out right now without any problem right now. So I believe that the Election Commission has successfully conducted these elections today and performed its duty in a very well mannered. As our turnout is concerned, it's early to give the exact turnout of today's election. But yes, we have some estimates of the turnout that are around 30% turnout in various constituencies. But yes, it's too early to say the exact figure of any turnout right now.
Okay, but in terms of the last by-polls that we saw, have you noticed that there's a decrease in the overall voter turnout?
Again, I would say that it's too early to say give any exact statement about the turnout. We would be able to say what was the turnout maybe once we get all the results, and then we will get the consolidated reports from all the constituencies.
Okay. And what about, the way in terms of the polling agents, the overall vigilance that the Election Commission has ensured? Of course, you're saying that they, in your opinion, have been conducted satisfactorily and everything is is happening, right by the book. But what about these allegations that have come out? Is this a normal, how do you look at them?
Like I would say that these elections, the way they have been conducted today, that whole of the world, the media was observing. Candidates were even given the opportunity to observe the elections, and right now the elections results are coming out. We have installed the result management system that is giving the real-time results. This system has been installed at the secretariat, the provincial level, and even at the local level, where the candidates themselves, media, they themselves can get the real-time results. So there is no interference in the results or the whole day the elections were conducted. And moreover, there were few complaints which were of minor nature, which, as I earlier said, that is which were really in the normal nature, were reported. And as I have given you the exact figure, at the secretariat there were only 15 complaints that were resolved immediately. So if you're talking about the allegations from some political parties, that I would say these elections are the testimony that whatever allegations have been made by the any political party before the elections, even today, they were baseless and they were only the allegations only.
Right. Thank you so much for being with us, Huma. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to go to Abdullah. Ji, Abdullah, we were talking about the performance overall as far as the PTI is concerned, as far as the by-polls are concerned. And the fact that, if these two seats, as we're looking at the trend at this time in Multan and Malir and Karachi, even if the PTI loses on these two seats, isn't it indicative of a downward trend?
MAHRUKH, the thing is, it's not a downward trend at all. I mean, in Karangi and Malir, I was about to say, in response to what Huma was just saying, that we saw thuggery and brutal tactics on display on our TV screens this afternoon. I still cannot forget how our PTI president in Karachi, Bilal Ghaffar Saab, was beaten up with bricks by two of the parliamentarians from Sindh. We've seen that. Then there's another video that was shared in one of the parliamentary groups where we saw special branch employees trying to cast votes in the polling stations. The thing is, we've seen these tactics before, and this brings us to the main point today. MAHRUKH, the thing is, I asked myself this as well. Why are the elections being conducted only on 8 seats? Okay. PTI resigned from 150 plus National Assembly seats. Why did the Election Commission of Pakistan not hold elections on all of those 150 plus National Assembly seats? Why only hold them on 8 seats? I was perplexed to hear that. Then there was an audio that was leaked last week where I heard myself, Rana Sanaullah Sahib, telling the election commissioner, or the selection commissioner, I would say, Sir Kamil Sultan Raja Sahib, by saying, look, hold elections in Faisalabad, Multan. They cherry-picked the seats where they thought that the margins of the 2018 were very low and they'll be able to win the election with their dastardly tactics. And
behold, there you go. If there were elections on all the seats, would Imran Khan Sahib have chosen to contest on all of them?
MAHRUKH, that's an excellent question. I believe Khan Sahib himself is who PTI, the people of Pakistan, are voting for. And who knows, Khan Sahib himself would have been on all of those 150 plus seats. But the thing is, Suri Sahib, the speaker, deputy speaker at that time, he accepted the resignations of all of those parliamentarians, PTI parliamentarians. Why are we only having...
Abdullah, what does it show? I realize, you've made your point. But what does this show? Overall, that where Imran Khan Sahib will contest himself, there the PTI is likely to perhaps have a better chance. And what about the other, people from your party?
MAHRUKH, you saw on the 17th of July, Khan Sahib was not contesting on all of those parliamentary seats that we saw. It was the people, Khan Sahib's candidates, PTI's candidates that were fielded, and they all won. We won 15 seats in those elections. So the thing is, it's not just about it's Khan Sahib. Whoever Khan Sahib nominates will also win. The thing is, We have what's called pre-poll rigging that's been conducted by the
But
Election
Abdullah,
Commission.
okay, let me come back to you. But isn't it a case? I mean, the seats that you feel that trend. I mean, unfortunately, one has to say that. As far as the PTI is concerned, I'll go to Rana Saab. I'll come back to you. Rana Saab, the trend overall, and this has come from this is a criticism that is leveled against PTI. That in terms of their defeat, or where they see that they're not gaining ground, there are invariably reasons like pre-poll rigging, like there being fights, scuffles, all of those things on election day. Is it that, in your opinion? How do you look at these two seats also? Because Abdullah is saying that there are all these other reasons for this downward trend on these two seats.
I a lot to lame exchanges. Wherever they move, they'll start charging and leveling allegations against the Election Commission or the government or their opponent. Wherever they win, they think they are the bravos and they are planning. They are undiluted, they are political heroes. They have different dictionary of their objectives, unfortunately. They are not fair in their thinking and objective in their analysis. For example, my friend was telling about the election on 17th of July. What happened? They lost the 5 seats out of their own 20 seats. And they bagged less vote than before. They got 1 million votes. They got 8,50,000 votes. And despite the fact there was a lot of strength they lost in the management, for example, in Kushab seat, there was a candidate like Bah, who got, he was Muslim League candidate previously, who got 41,000 seats. The new Muslim League candidate who was a convert from PTI, he got 37,000 seats, 37,000 votes. Wherever the PTI got 47, I want to tell you the total number of votes of Muslim League, in fact, was 89,000. So I assure you that they are misleading, and now they have exposed the leader to such a situation, embarrassing situation. Wherever he is contesting, the turnover is so poor. It's between 20 to 25%. Wherever he is not contesting, the turnover is more. So this is the interest of the people in the leader. For God's sake, try to analyze.
Rana Sahab, there is criticism, and you saw Abdullah also state this again, as far as holding elections on all the seats. This is also something that the PTI has gone to court over. Of course, Election Commission has stated reasons for not being able to hold seats on all 100 and some, I think 130, if I'm not wrong, seats that resignations have been tendered on. Even picking out these, overall, the trend, in your opinion, is if the PTI actually wins on most of these seats, do you feel that it's a cause of concern for the government at this time? Ji, Rana Saab, can you hear me? There's a problem with audio. Ji, Iftikhar Saab, we have with us Iftikhar Ahmed, who's a senior journalist. Thank you for joining us. Iftikhar Saab, how do you look at this trend overall, as far as these by-polls are concerned, and particularly with Multan and Malir? Those are the two seats where Imran Khan Saab is not contesting. Let's talk about Multan. How do you look at that trend? Does it have to do with the fact that he's not contesting himself? Both parties are strong in the area. How do you look at that? Iftikhar Saab, can you hear me? Ji, overall, if you're talking about the by-polls and the way that things are looking on the two seats in Malir and in Multan, it seems that the trend is PPP is gaining ground. The other seats, the PTI is gaining at this time. The overall, that's what the situation seems to be. Of course, these are not the final results till now. We'll be taking a short break and coming back and talking more about the by-polls and what they mean for all political parties.
कुछ जुल्म थे देखे से एक आग लगी सीने में मिलकर जो बने थे ताकत जब मकसद था जीने में जब पास नजरिया था अपने फिर रोक सका ना कोई यूं पाकिस्तान बना था
Book is life. Book is hope. And book is light for the future.
Right, welcome back. We'll be talking to Iftikhar Ahmed, who's a senior journalist. Iftikhar Saab, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ji, Iftikhar Saab, how do you look at this overall trend that we are seeing at this time in the by polls? Of course, these are two seats that were earlier won by PTI. But what do you think this will prove? And do you think it will prove anything at all? These are, I mean, one has to say, these are seats that the PTI already had. They're choosing to resign and then contest on the same seats again. What does it indicate? What does it prove, in your opinion?
My first question is this: let me know the turnover. What is your report about the turnover?
According to the ECP, it seems to be about 30%.
30% all over the country?
That's the figure they have till now. We had Zille Huma from the ECP with us, and that's what she told us.
30%. Now, what does it show? It shows that there is no major change. PTI has lost 2 seats.
Gee.
They should have gained more seats. And the turnover should have been 60%, because if they are a very popular party, and if they're 56 or 57 public jalsas could not muster the support more than 50% of the polling station, I don't think it is something positive for them. They must think over it.
Also, Iftikhar Saab, what about the fact that on these 2 seats, Imran Khan Saab himself is not contesting? What does it show in terms of, I mean, his own people?
It shows this party is a party of Imran Khan only, one man. That's all. And the man, he's not going to go for oath even. I don't think he will go to the assembly, because he don't believe to sit with the chore, corrupt people. And
So what will happen if the Iftikhar Saab, after these results are in?
Nothing will happen. They have more two members now. The PDM. I think they were 174. Now they would be 176.
Right, that's true. And then overall, in terms of all the other seats also, if piecemeal elections are held like this, another 8 seats, another 10 seats, even if the PDM gains on 1 or 2 seats, overall we can see a significant increase, like you are saying?
Look, I don't have the entire result of the 2018 and the last election to make a comparison. I can't make a comparison while I don't have the details. I have to see how much vote has been enhanced by Mr. Imran Khan, by his volatile speeches, by his American Sazish agenda. Then he's talking about Islam. Then he's talking about corrupt people, to hang them. These all things, but I have to study the election result. Without going into the election result, it's very difficult to make agreement.
Right, Iftikhar sir, but overall, in terms of the losses to the government also, in terms of the PDM and the fact that, the seats that they, it seems, might lose, do you think that there is a circumspection in order there also?
Look, the PDM or PTI, both parties cannot deliver to the people of Pakistan now because their crisis is economic crisis. The people are facing economic problems. They have nothing to do with this vote politics. It will make no difference. Absolutely no. I know very well that Imran will not go for a vote even. He is making a joke of this parliament. A man who doesn't believe in the parliament and democracy is contesting the election. A very interesting thing for me, at least. If I'm not interested to be a member of the National Assembly, then why I'm contesting? If the corrupt people are there, everyone is corrupt, sitting over there on the benches, other than the PTI, why should I contest? Why I'm contesting? This is the question. Imran Khan must answer this question now.
Fair enough.
Why?
Thank you. That's a very relevant question. Thank you for joining us, Iftikhar Sahab. I'm going to go to Abdullah with the same question. Abdullah, I think Iftikhar Sahab raises a very pertinent question. He's raised slogans of chore and lots of things he said about the current PDM at this time. As the current amalgamation of the National Assembly. There's no secret as to the words having been used for the members at this time, overall the compilation of the government, all of that. Why is Imran Khan Sahab choosing to contest when he doesn't want to be there, he doesn't want to sit there, and that is very much a part of the narrative of PTI?
MAHRUKH, the thing is, all of those seats that Khan Sahib is contesting are PTI's own seats. Khan Sahib will contest on those seats to protect PTI and its vote bank. But the fundamental question, MAHRUKH, is not why he's contesting. The fundamental question is how long will we Pakistanis have to bear this artificial setup? Yesterday, we heard President Joe Biden slam our country by saying that it's the most dangerous nation on earth. I mean, this government's lackluster economic performance, lackluster foreign policy. Where are we heading? Are we heading down Sri Lanka's?
Okay, let me just come. Right, I get your point, but as far as the issue of bipolls are concerned, I think one of the things that Iftikhar Sahab pointed out, it's very interesting. He said that if there were 174 members earlier on, as far as the PDM is concerned, if these two seats, the trend that we are seeing, Multan and Malir, are won by the PPP, that will make it 176. If the Election Commission continues and we see other election on other seats, for example, another 10, another 11, all of those, and 1-2 seats, more seats are won, overall the numbers of this government, the PTI may choose, Imran Khan may choose not to sit in the assembly, but these other members will. And they will increase the overall, membership of these political parties in the National Assembly. Has the PTI considered this?
MAHRUKH, PTI has considered all of this. PTI has also considered that the people of Pakistan are fed up with this artificial setup. They're fed up with the fact that we have an artificial, illegitimate government in Islamabad that occupies the 27-kilometer stretch. So the fact is, we've seen the thuggery and violence on display, full display of the Pakistani television screens in Karachi. As far as Multan is concerned, the exit polls suggest that Shahrbanu Qureshi is leading on that seat as well. So the thing is, Khan Saab's narrative, I mean, the more fundamental question is, we have a PDM government in the federal setup. Why are they not having a landslide victory on all of these seats? I mean, that's a more crucial question. If they've done such a stand-up job in Pakistan, if they've done an amazing recovery plan with Shahbaz Sharif Saab, why are the people of Pakistan not swarming to the polling stations and voting in their favor? The only answer is that the people of Pakistan are fed up with this artificial setup and they want elections. Elections should happen. They'll be good for the economy.
Right, but Abdullah, is it a thought-out strategy? It seems to be without, I mean, if one tries to reason it out, let me go to Rana Maqbool Saab, he's been waiting. I'll come back to you. Rana Saab, yes. Do you think that there is, do you think that this is a thought-out strategy at all? Do you think, I mean, what is the PTI chairman trying to prove as far as these seats are concerned? Is it a pressure tactic? Is it a power show? You know, at the cost of money being spent by the exchequer? How do you look at it? I don't have Rana Saab with me. Abdullah, the same question to you. Okay, overall, as far as the situation is concerned, we are looking at these two seats where the PPP seems to be gaining at this time. We don't know the final results, but the overall trend seems to be in favor of PTI. Of course, it is something to think about that this would mean a loss of 2 seats to the PTI, which they had earlier won, and therefore increase the government's count from perhaps 174 to 176. So overall, perhaps the PTI also needs to consider the effect of these by-polls as they are held. You know, we are looking at another 11 seats now, but you know, later on we might have elections on more seats, and even if 1 or 2 are gained, the effect can be, you know, quite impressive for the government as a whole if the numbers increase. Another thing worth thinking about, of course, is what is the thought behind these elections as far as the PTI is concerned. What is the PTI chairman saying? What is he trying to prove at the cost of money being spent by the exchequer? And you know, of course, the cost in other ways, it means for polling agents, for people to come out, vote, all of those things, when on the one hand you're refusing to acknowledge the government, the National Assembly, but on the other hand you're contesting on these seats to prove a point. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have. Thank you so much for joining us today.